What is up, WECS 90.1? You're here with Zack, and today we have Nikita in studio. We have Billy and Clay. You guys want to say hi?
Hi.
What's up, guys?
Hello.
So we're gonna be talking today all about Nikita and everything. We're gonna get it all all on the table here.
Yeah.
But we're gonna start off with just some of their songs off of their EP Pink, and we're gonna start with "We Are a Wave." Actually, tell me about it. What?
We Are Away was sweet. We actually had to write that right before we recorded it. So it was it
was like an in studio, just boom.
Well, we had there's kind of two main sections to the song, and they were part of two different demos, two different songs, and those demo ideas didn't really work totally, and so we kind of needed to finish the song because we knew we wanted to record it, and we were going into the studio in a couple days, and we kind of cut a part out of one demo and made it the chorus of this other demo.
That's cool. That sounds like a little Abbey Road medley going on right there.
It was sweet. I'm really happy it worked out.
It's your classic mashup.
Yeah.
But just with
our bass player had to learn it when he went to record it. He hadn't had a chance to play it yet.
He didn't touch it yet.
No.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, in all honesty, and I'm not here just to tell you guys you're great, but when I heard Pink, I thought the whole thing was awesome.
Thank you.
I played it all when it came out on here.
Awesome.
People were messaging me the whole time. They're who is this? I'm not even joking.
That's great.
That's
awesome.
Anyways, we're gonna come with "We Are a Wave," and we'll be back, and we'll figure out what's going on with these guys. What the heck's wrong with them? What's good about them?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
This is the maiden voyage. Yeah.
So just I think I talked about it a little bit. Just a quick rundown. Just watch your mouth.
Right.
Well,
yeah, we can totally abide by those rules.
if you can handle that.
I think we can. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Yeah.
I definitely want to ask you about. So you start thinking about it because I love the stories of gigs from hell. Did you guys ever have a really bad gig? Or just the people suck?
I don't know if we've had to deal with that yet.
We've had I guess it's a relative thing, right?
Yeah.
We've had worst gigs and stuff.
I hope we weren't the worst one.
No,
dude,
man, that was fine. Yeah,
that was fun.
Yeah, you guys actually had the biggest crowd of the day, believe it or not.
It was a lot of fun. Yeah, I kind of got a little sunburnt from it, to be honest.
So red after.
Yeah.
Just think about it. I was sitting in that seat all day.
Yeah.
Doing nothing.
And the concrete kind of reflects the light a little bit. But yeah. Excuse me. Let's see. Worst gigs. So we were trying to play a gig at our bass player's house over the summer.
On right now, just so you know.
Oh yeah? Right on. Yeah. Yeah, we were trying to play a gig there, and it started raining.
Oh, shit.
Right before there was a band playing and it started raining. They finished their set, and we were gonna set up ours underneath the deck. And there was a tarp over the deck and stuff. We were gonna try and make it work. And as we were setting that up, a bunch of cops showed up.
Oh shit.
And closed down.
Damn.
And closed down the party. Yeah.
At Willie Stock, they came at 4 o'clock. They're like, "You guys said you were here till 4." I was like, "We said we were here till 6."
Wow.
And they're just like, "Nope."
Wow. I mean, what's the big deal?
Bummer, man.
What's the big deal?
I don't know.
There's nothing going on between 4 and 6.
Half the maintenance crew was like, "Honestly, I don't care. We're getting paid." But just their big burly dude with the stash and aviators was like, "Nope."
Wow. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, that is funny.
So yeah, cops came and shut it down.
Well, yeah, I
Sort
guess
of.
they kind of broke it up, and we ended up doing kind of an acoustic-y set inside, and it was actually a lot of fun.
You guys do acoustic.
Yeah, we're definitely trying to explore.
Because you guys are really I don't want to say you rely on electric instruments, but it is electric bass. You know what I mean?
Totally.
You get all that.
Totally.
How do you get the funk sound? Because
Right.
I think of you guys as a funk band. I
Totally.
hope if I'm putting a label on.
No,
that's cool.
You're there, man.
I'm down with the funk.
Yeah, man. Acoustic stuff is kind of you have to have more of an emphasis on vocal harmonies and stuff like that, and
It's so stripped
kind of try to
down.
get that smoother feel
Yeah.
rather than the super rhythmic syncopated.
Right, and it's
type
not
thing.
you guys rely on the electricity. It's just the electricity brings it to that level. The
Yeah.
effects pedals. It gives you your bass player's sound is the coolest. He told me, he's like, "Dude, that was a fuck up. I didn't even get to play with my pedal," and I was like.
He has this new synthesizer pedal that he uses, and
Is that electro-harmonics? Is that
Is
Yeah.
that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
dude.
the Electro Harmonics
Alright.
micro synth.
So the song just ended, so
Word.
All right, so we're here with Nikita. So I guess first place to start, where does Nikita come from? What does it mean? What's the name? What was the name? Who had the idea? All that fun stuff.
So the name Nikita is of like Eastern European origins.
Mm-hmm.
It actually means victory for the people, I think, in like
Really?
Greek or something like that, which is cool.
That's so cool.
It actually came
Like
from
Nike.
like Nike.
Yeah.
Yeah, that like the same as like the brand Nike. But this is strange, but we liked the idea of having a feminine sounding name that ended with A.
Really?
Which is like interesting. We started playing together in like a different version of this band in a group called Monica, and we played like one gig, and then remembered that there was an R&B artist from the 90s called Monica, and that we couldn't really get away with using that
Yeah, you
name.
couldn't copyright
So
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
and she still plays shows and stuff. So our friend Casey, who lives in DC now and who is definitely an honorary band member, was playing with us when we first started. Suggested Nikita, and we loved the victory for the people thing. We loved the way it sounded, and it also sort of has kind of an androgynous feel to it because Nikita is traditionally a male name, and in the 20th century, it kind of like became sort of both. Like there's a movie called La Femme Nikita, and it sounds pretty feminine. And, you know, our music kind of, like, we like that sort of Prince-esque
Right.
androgyny. So
No, that's
we really
awesome.
liked that it was, like, kind of both a male and female
Right.
name.
Yeah.
And well, you know, now that you say that, it's like even when I watch you guys, like your stage presence when you guys play live, it's like not over the top yet. You're still, it's almost sexy. Like you guys just have it's
Thank
that
you.
sexy funk kind of style, and it's just too cool.
We are, like, all guys, but we do like to bring that yin and
Yeah, a little yin yang
like
into
both, both sides. Yeah.
But
Absolutely.
that's too cool. So, and you know, you were talking about you had a friend who was an original member, still an honorary member. So, how did Nikita form, and you know, who's playing right now, and do you think you're gonna add, take away, all that? You know, what I guess what made the dynamic what it is today?
There's a couple pieces to that story, I guess. One is what we were talking about earlier, that 5 of the 6 of us actually went to high school together, which is crazy. We've known each
Yeah,
other
so
for
we've
a
all
long time.
we've all known each other for, you know, over 10 years, and you know, we've all been musical together for that whole period of time. You know, I guess like for instance, Billy's brother Chris, he's in the band, he's a drummer, and he's also like a recording engineer and a producer. And my other bands have like recorded with him and worked with him and stuff like that.
Right.
So we've already had like a pretty
You've already had a connection, like a
right.
stable.
We were already
thing to build off
making
of.
music together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We already had like a really good working relationship and stuff like that. And Billy's brother got out of college last year. He graduated college last year, and I think he graduated on like a Friday or Saturday, and that Monday was the first time that me, Chris, and Billy got together and started playing. Like we kind of decided like a month or two before them that that we wanted to like start a band. So what happened was, I would say probably like 2.5 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, Billy and I started writing music.
Yep.
And we started writing, I guess, like more specifically like soul and R&B and funk music.
Right.
And that's kind of when we got in, you know, into that side of things, I guess.
Right. So it was like you already were kind of working at,
Yeah.
or you were getting to Nikita essentially.
Right.
And that's the direction.
Right.
You were
Yeah.
going.
So like, you know, a lot of the songs that are on these that are on the first EP and this upcoming EP kind of started as stuff that Billy and I wrote. And you know, we always wanted to have, you know, some kind of iteration of it, and it just took about 2.5 years to kind of find the right people to play with.
Right.
And it's funny just because, like, you know, a lot of it's about timing, because, you know, we already knew everybody in the band. Like, everybody, like 5 of us went to high school together, and our bass player, Kyle, we met him at UConn, and he played in our friend's band. And, like, you know, so we already knew everybody. And it's just kind of funny how the timing just lined up. Like, we started playing with Chris last May, and, like, 2 weeks after that, we asked Kyle if he wanted to come and jam, like, our bass player, Kyle.
Yep.
And, I mean, the chemistry was awesome. He's just, like, a crazy player. And, you know, we were like, oh, this is like, the nucleus right here, you know? And our friend Keenan, who I was in, like, a high school band with, he's He's a trumpet player and a keyboard player, and he's like an amazing jazz musician. And we've always had a great time playing together. He came and jammed with us and was like, okay, this is like also it.
Right, like this is another missing element that we needed. And
yeah.
like you said the chemistry, and it's like when I watch you guys and listen to it, it's like the chemistry. It's just like you guys were meant to be playing together. Like it's just sounds
thank you,
that
man.
good.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it, man.
And I like how you said the timing. It's like how all these things always go. You know, you ask bands all the time, and they're like, well, you know, we all just kind of ended up in the right place at the right time, and then we tried it, and it just made sense, and then you guys got to just run with it.
Dude,
it's awesome.
we talk about it all the time, how surprising it is that we actually, like, all the people that we ended up forming this band with were people that we already knew. Like, we thought we were going to start playing with this awkward three-piece, like, drum, guitar, and, like, vocal group, and be like, do open mics and stuff, and be like, hey, we're looking for a bassist. We're looking for somebody to play keys. And then it was like
the advertisement,
Craigslist
post.
Next thing you know, you show a couple really good friends of yours who are great musicians these demos, and they got excited about them and wanted to play. And it's like, I mean, that is just the biggest stroke of.
Is that serendipitous?
Luck. Like, is that? Yeah, I don't know. It's something like that, man. Yeah, it's. I mean, we consider ourselves like very lucky. There's another moment in the Nikita origin story that I wanted to mention though, which is like Clay used to play in this band called Losing Season. They were kind of like
I've heard of Losing Season.
Clay played
our
guitar.
Our old
for
operations
them.
manager used to talk about you guys all the time. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. He did,
Losing
like,
Season.
Band, like this.
Right on.
Back
That's
in
cool.
Game,
Yeah.
And he's probably listening right now. knowing Jimmy. If Jimmy's listening right now,
Jimmy.
like
Hi, Jimmy.
They're here, man.
Is that
No.
So anyways, my senior year of college at UConn, which I guess was like 2014, we were playing a house party, and actually our bassist's old band was also playing that house party, though he wasn't in it yet at that point. But anyways, and we just decided kind of just on a whim that since it was a house party, we wanted to just not be playing like all like grunge music and stuff. We decided that I would join Losing Season and that we'd do a completely out of left field cover of Marvin Gaye's "Let's Get It On," and it totally, it ripped. It was like a really
you
good
tore
time.
Your pants off for
I
that
tore
show?
my pants off. I was wearing like a tiny little bathing suit, and I crowd surfed and got dropped on the floor. But that was like kind of a moment where I think, without realizing it, and actually Keenan, our keyboard player, played that with us too pretty randomly as well. And I think that was a moment that Clay and I realized that was the type of music that maybe someday we'd be interested in playing.
Right.
So that's like one of those things that like back then we were like, yeah, that was super fun. But then now it seems like a big
Seems kind of obvious.
That,
right.
you know?
Well, no, and it's really interesting because like you look at the local scene, and a lot of times you're looking at metal bands, you're looking at grunge, rock, and then kind of that like punky folk,
Yeah.
I don't even want to say hipstery music because I feel like that puts a negative connotation on it.
Yeah.
But then I look at Nikita and I'm like, I can't think of like a soul funk, just R&B band that I can go see, at a local bar, and they just, it's like fun. Like I don't know, like I
Awesome.
listen to your guys' music,
Awesome.
and I'm like, I could totally see myself like dancing to that, and I am not a dancer, and especially because the camera's rolling in here, you're not gonna see it either. But you had Clay, you brought up the new EP coming out, right?
Yeah.
So how many songs? When's it coming out? What's like? Talk about the process.
So there's I guess there's 7 tracks on it.
It's a pretty long EP.
It is.
You're borderline album there.
Yeah,
Borderline.
definitely.
It could be an album. I did a
Yeah.
9-song album. Each song was like a minute and a half.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Absolutely. It's the length of
I mean,
the song,
there's
for
2 tracks on there that are kind of a little more like more of an interlude, I guess. Like they're less of like a full song structure.
Right, it almost
Or a
builds
full
into the
song
next-
statement, I guess. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like it's more of just kind of a vibe, I guess, kind of a maybe like a palate cleanser.
Yeah, but like you guys are even like in your songs you're jamming. So even if
Yeah.
it's like a little jam, like I'm still like, yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I
And
mean,
think
we're-
that's what a lot of your fans would say as well.
We're super stoked on how it's coming out. Yeah, I mean, So this has like a couple songs that Billy and I started like a while back.
Right,
And
Billy said you guys were kind of building off of that.
Right. Yeah. So I guess when we started the group, like we had like I said, probably like I don't know 10 or 12 like original pieces that we wanted to like bring to the band to kind of just like learn how to be a band. You know what I mean? Like you learn these songs, like these chord progressions and melodies, and you kind of like just figure out how it functions, you know? And it's like it's good material to learn how to play together, right?
Like almost like I can do it by myself, but can I do it when I have a bass backing me up and a drummer?
Yeah.
And layer it all together and have it gel.
Right.
Is that what you're going for?
Well, and it's like, it's like you could practice being a band from learning covers, or you could practice being a band by like learning these originals and kind of adapting them to your own parts and styles and stuff. Totally. And so when we had all these songs, we kind of like there was sort of like two common vibes, I guess, and one of them was like this kind of faster, hotter, poppier, like funk thing, which was what Nikita Pink turned into. Mm-hmm. And then there was this kind of like darkier, spacier, kind of moodier vibe, and the next EP is Nikita Blue.
Okay. Oh, all right. I like what's going on.
Yeah.
Story,
so they're and I mean it's just kind of a way of getting all of these kind of older songs out with like a couple like new ones that came up with the group. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of a way of like I guess purging all of those songs, and then it's like they're kind of reactionary to each other too.
Well, it's I feel like with especially just the songwriting process as a whole. Sometimes you have something for like a long time, and then eventually you use it, and you're like, I feel like in maybe not in your guys' case, but it sounds like it, especially if you're going to be producing them. Yeah. It's like you knew you had something there, and you're like, I just gotta get it done. I want to get it out there.
Well, and I mean, like you said, also with timing too, it's kind of like the timing of some of these things worked out. Like it's cool that we were able to find these two themes and like put them together on these two releases and put them out. Like I feel like it's a good, honestly, like I think it'll be really helpful with like getting gigs and stuff like that and showcasing like a variety of styles.
And I feel like that's hard on the local level. Getting a gig is hard.
Yeah, it takes work for sure. Are
you guys always like on the phone and Facebook and like I guess what I'm getting at is how do you guys network just so people listening they can find it all?
I mean, it's definitely going to shows. It's definitely being aware on social media and checking out bands that you like that you think would be fun to gig with on the local level.
Right.
And like kind of figuring out what venues they're playing at,
Who's gonna take you? Who's gonna take you
yeah.
and bring you there?
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, it's a lot about taking the initiative and just hitting up venues and like putting together like succinct like professional organized email and like making figuring out how to make yourself seem appealing to a booking agent. Like go to them with like a really informative subject title that talks about like the name of your band, the type of band it is, the dates that you're looking for, and the venue that it's at. And honestly, like if you hit them up like, I don't know, 2 or 3 or 4 months ahead of time, it's really nice when a band hits you up and is like, hey, I want to fill these dates, and you don't have those dates filled yet, and you're like, oh, okay, let me look into this right now.
We'll always look at you.
Yeah, and then they're gonna look at your email, and if you have if you have a nice kind of looking presentation on like social media, or you have a website, or you have music up and stuff like that, like just stuff that they can get your vibes with.
And what I'm getting at is, so people listening right now, like let's say I wanted to find Nikita, where can I find your guys' stuff? On Bandcamp? I know you guys have a Facebook page. Are you guys on any other platforms?
We're on Instagram. We are on Twitter, but that is not as heavily used.
Yeah.
We also have
What's
a website.
The names of everything too?
Everything.
You can shout out everything. You might as well. This is me asking for it. They're not doing it shamelessly, guys.
Our tagline for everything is Nikita the Band. So Twitter, we're at Nikita the Band. Instagram and Facebook are both Instagram /Nikita the Band. The website is nikitatheband.com. And that's pretty much everything. I will say on Spotify, we're a little tricky to find. I would search Nikita Pink on Spotify to find us, which is the name of our
And that's where you
first
can
EP.
find the first song we played, We Are Wave, and many more.
Yeah.
So, and now back to the EP. So you got Blue.
Yep.
So you guys are currently working on that, correct? And do you guys have a release coming, a date in mind, or are we leaving that kind of...
Yeah. We're going to pop it out on June 15th.
June 15th. Stay tuned for that. We're definitely going to get that. I'm going to talk to me, and I'm going to make sure that that ends up here, because there are shows here.
Awesome.
I'll put it right in the new releases.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So that's a Friday in June, and then we'll do a single in May as well.
Cool.
Yeah.
Like
That's going to
May.
be exciting.
Yeah,
So like a
single.
little pre-release like single and...
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
Cool.
exactly.
Do you guys have any shows coming up?
Yeah.
So where are you playing?
We're
What do
playing
people need to know?
we're playing in Manchester at the main pub on May 11th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Should
Yeah.
follow that, honestly.
Show starts at like 9. Yeah, it's
Is
I
there
don't know
a
if you've ever
cover
been to
at
the main pub.
door, or
I believe it's a 7.
7.
I think it's a
$7
$7
or $10?
cover. It's definitely
There's
on
no
the
reason
event.
not to go, is what you're telling
Affordable.
me.
Yeah.
It's
Oh
pretty
yeah.
affordable. It's,
The
it's gonna
spots
be
the spot's awesome. It's like
Yeah.
a great vibe in there.
fun. Cool.
And we'll be playing 2 sets, so you'll get to see us do some like cool cover material that we
Right.
like, as well as
Yeah.
original stuff. It should be.
It's
should
gonna be a
really,
party.
Really
Yeah,
fun night.
and that's honestly, I can't think of a better way to describe it. It's like I feel like when I see you guys, I was at Pub 32. That was what, in like December, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Merck's played. I was there for a short period of time with you guys. I had to leave. I had been sick. I had Lyme disease, but besides the point.
Thanks
So,
for braving
so I was like
Pub
trying
32 and Lyme
to be
disease,
at a
man.
bar right there, and I'm like, my body hurts. But anyways, I did get to see a little bit of the set, and I was honestly disappointed that I had to bounce, but it was like a party. It is. It's like these guys, you literally go to their show, and you just, I don't know. It's like you're just hanging out with like, everyone's just kind of, you guys bring this energy and vibe to the crowd where it's like you just kind of want to, you're at a dance party. I don't know. It's just like a throwback.
That's awesome.
But, and that
Thank you.
brings me to, so before I was making a point about how there's not a lot of like soul, funk, kind of R&B local bands.
Yeah.
So what was the influence behind it? You know, I look at a lot of guys, they're always like, oh, Kurt Cobain, you know, Jack White, Jimmy Page, but I don't hear that in your guys' music.
It's yeah, I mean, it's a couple things. We had some like early funk influences in like the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I know Clay mentioned you when we were talking before. And certain stuff like that. Like I know I listened to a little bit of Parliament in high school here and there. And it was kind of something, I mean, we got into all that grungy and punk stuff and,
Right,
and
'cause
everything.
you guys played in bands before, right?
Yeah, right, and that was
more
totally...
that kind of realm.
Yeah,
it's tapped
absolutely.
into.
And then it was kind of like soul and funk were something we rediscovered where it was sort of like, here's this beautiful music that we feel that our peers don't really know much about, and we think that it can affect them in the same ways that it affects us, and we want to show it to them,
You're
and
like
we
speaking
also
to
want to
people.
make it.
Yeah.
I remember we all really love D'Angelo, and I remember a roommate of mine who's like really, or ours, that is really well versed in hip hop and some old school R&B and stuff like that, and honestly just all music in general, played D'Angelo's album Voodoo for us one morning, and it was like an absolute game changer. It was like you just like immediately something clicks, and we felt that, and I guess it's just the reason, one of the main reasons we make music is that we feel like we've discovered like a bit of a gold mine that people don't necessarily know about, and we want to show it to them. We want to make music that shows them that Prince is awesome, that shows them that Marvin Gaye is awesome, that shows them that D'Angelo is awesome, Erykah Badu, stuff like that. So yeah, I guess it's because we're just trying to listen to everything.
Right.
You know,
And
we're not
you're
just
trying to-
necessarily influenced by our immediate surroundings in the scene. It's like we want to be broader than that. You know?
That's really cool, and it makes perfect sense, honestly, and I kind of appreciate you guys for doing it. 'Cause it's just cool. It's like you're opening,
Thanks,
you
man.
know what I mean? You're opening up people to different stuff. Now, Clay, your guitar sound, I want to talk about that because I always tell people you could hear, you know, put 10 guitar players in a room, they'll all play an E chord and all sound different. So
Absolutely.
So what was like the influence for the your tones and the way you present your guitar playing? It's funky.
Thank you.
There's a lot of funk, man.
Yeah, I mean, I really love Prince. I really love John Mayer's guitar playing. I really love like Jimi Hendrix's guitar playing.
Yeah.
I really love the guitar playing on like Michael Jackson recordings or like
Right.
Earth, Wind and Fire recordings. They're like super rhythmic, super tasteful, like, catchy lines.
Right.
I mean, I'm really into that. I like it when guitar players kind of sing with their instrument. You know what I mean? Like when they're like when their phrasing kind of sounds like they're breathing. Like they have to take a second for breath and stuff like that. Like I don't know if you listen to Derek Trucks at all, or
I mean, know what you mean. Like when you it's like you're breathe or
yeah. Or like I don't know, like John Frusciante, like from the Chili Peppers. Like I think he's a fantastic example. I mean, I came up like with like classic rock and kind of like blues and stuff like that. Like that was sort of what I was playing when I was like 15 or 16 to like 20 or something like.
Feel going on though.
Yeah,
it's like a feel thing. It's just
you're
there.
totally.
Like it's like you're part of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and like Pink Floyd and stuff like that. Like I love that like spacey guitar sound.
Right.
And I mean, I don't know. I guess that stuff just kind of naturally manifests itself with like Nikita.
Right.
I don't know. Like I really like to have like good guitar be in like a good song. Like I kind of don't like having like songs just for like a guitar solo and stuff like that.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like
you don't want to stand there play a 20-minute guitar solo. You're tapping on. It's just not what you want to.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not totally averse to
you're
that.
Not against,
I just don't want to like
it, but it's just not.
It's not like what the band is about, in my opinion.
Right.
Maybe it's something that we can do at a performance or whatever.
Right. It's like you suit the song almost.
Definitely.
Right.
I feel like that wouldn't be. I don't know. You wouldn't feel like you're not being very conscious about like people's like attention spans or like I don't know. It's like I can't think about sitting 17 minutes to listen to like a whole song like in my day or something. You know what I mean? Like I just feel like that's not like an everyday thing, and I don't know. I'm way more into like the kind of succinct, kind of like interesting, kind of condensed song structure right now.
Right.
I don't know.
No, I get what you're getting at though.
Yeah, I mean,
it's like Nikita. There's talent all around, but you kind of got to take it all. You take it all in all at once. In a way.
You can't be a really good part of a band with 5 people playing instruments without being a part of the larger picture, as opposed to like standing out. Sometimes it's definitely about making an overall sound, and like those guitar players that Clay's influenced by are definitely all about that for sure.
Yeah.
Right. It's complementary. It's not over. It's not that you're going over the top, I guess.
Yeah.
Like you're not like I'm the guitar player. Everyone's staring at me. I'm playing guitar.
Right. It's
not
like
that.
it's like the band is a tapestry, and you're supposed to be one of the colors in the tapestry.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? Like,
oh man, I got chills over
That's
here.
nice. I like that.
So, you guys want to play some music, or do you guys have any demos? We're running a little low on time.
I feel you. Yeah, Bill, what are you interested in playing?
So,
we could definitely like do a demo. We could do a fucking. Sorry.
What can we do, Clay? Thanks for losing my job. Now. It's been really nice talking with you guys.
Fire Zack.
Oops. Why don't we play another song off of Pink? Actually, no. Why don't you play the live version of Six Seeds? I think that's on.
Is it GHR presents?
Six Seeds.
Yep.
Yeah. And you want 6 seeds?
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that'll be perfect, and then we can do a little wrap up.
Cool.
And we'll be right back. So this is 6 Seeds live, and where were you playing?
So this is an in-studio performance at Ghost Hit Recording in Holyoke, Massachusetts. It's where we did most of the recording for the first EP.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we actually there's a video of this performance too that's on our website.
Oh, awesome.
It's a really well done.
Check out that video.
Yeah.
For one thing, I'm gonna watch it later. But all right, let's listen.
Yeah.
Nice F-bomb. It's all good.
Yeah.
He didn't get through the word technically.
Yeah,
so
no,
he didn't technically
he said
say it.
Oh, fuck it.
Yeah. They knew what I
No,
was
you
saying.
couldn't
Yeah.
I know it's hard work.
I feel like we're actually in like a really good period of time for musicians. Like I feel like there's so many new festivals and
There's
with,
chances. To
yeah,
play,
yeah.
at least.
I feel like there's like a big middle class in
For
music
sure.
now. I
Right.
feel like
there's
it's
a
not
growing middle class of independent.
right
musicians.
that you can make a living on. You're not
Right.
necessarily gonna be like
Living lavish,
super
but you can
rich,
survive.
but right, yeah, you can make a totally comfortable life while writing
you live
and
with
performing
roommates, you work
music
a
and
day
stuff.
Job, all that.
Yeah,
But
well, a lot of people have like a bunch of different sources of income.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Are you familiar with the Balkan Brothers? Have you ever heard of them? They're out of Connecticut. They win like Blues Band of the Year, but like they're just like I played a show with them. Like they're
Yeah,
like a
word.
local
Normal
level,
dudes.
but like
Right.
they tour.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
well, no, so they're beyond local, but you know what I mean? Like they're guys who are doing it.
Right, but it's
Yeah.
a realistic,
Right.
attainable level of being a
Right.
musician.
Like they're definitely like an East Coast band too. If you went to, you're not gonna see them playing like Madison Square Garden anytime
Right.
soon.
But you can make it work. I bet
But
they
like
make
you
it
can
work.
see them at a festival and like they're headlining and they kick ass.
Well, and the thing is, if like you're independent, I feel like you don't have to make as much money. Like, you know what I mean? If nobody's taking a giant slice of your pie,
Right.
like like a management company
Right.
or a label or whatever.
Even just if you had
I
your
feel
own
like you have
personal
to make-
booking
you-
agent,
you don't have to-
pay them a percentage of
Yeah.
what you made that night.
Like, if you keep as much of your operation in house as possible, I feel like more of the money can just eventually go to you. Like, you just have a smaller overhead.
Right, and the internet has made it. Right? I mean,
Internet.
social
Yeah,
media,
it's
you can
facilitated
put it
everything.
Right out there.
Everything, yeah.
If you
So
went to I went to a big high school. I have like 500 Facebook friends.
Right,
Or like,
right.
I think like before I even started playing, I had like 500 friends on Facebook.
Right.
I put my music out, and potentially 500 people can see that video.
right,
know?
and it's interesting figuring out how that works too,
Right.
like how just social
How do you
media
get
behaves
someone
and
to
stuff.
watch this, and then how do you get them to share it or tell someone? And just
Yeah.
think about it though, like if you put out one song, right, and you have 100 people view it, and they show 2 people, and then they show a few people, it does. I mean,
That stuff
it's
adds up,
stupid,
man.
But like,
Yeah.
that's the dream. Obviously, that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. It's definitely interesting to try and figure out how that all works.
I loved how when Julian and I stopped playing, we put out a little, hey, thanks everyone. It's our most viewed and liked post. It's like.
it's like the end. Yeah.
You're like, oh, cool. Like, thanks.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
You're like,
Where have
were,
you
where
been?
were you guys when,
Yeah.
when I played at the space for 5 people?
Yeah,
which the space
dude.
closed. Did you?
Yeah.
They're
The outer-
well,
they're
reopened,
open again,
right?
yeah.
They're Manic Productions. You know Manic Productions? They like don't
I
they
mean,
own
the space is
now?
Yeah,
a
they bought
horrible
it.
place, but I love the concept of.
Oh, yeah.
You can be. This could be like right out of the garage. You can go play a show.
Right. Right.
That's where it's like where your bands are born. Do you want to play the little outro?
Sure.
When do you have it? We can do the outro on the outro.
Oh, there you go. That's cute. All right, so we're back, and that was Six Seeds Live, and that was at GHR Studios.
Go Sit Recording, engineered by Andrew Odell. Our boy Andrew Odell, filmed by Melissa McClung, I believe. They do great work over at Go Sit Studios. And also shout out to Funkhouse Studios, Paul Filippone. We're recording our current EP over there.
Yeah, we did the
We'd be
keys for that.
remiss
Yeah.
Awesome.
To not mention him as well.
Also our boy.
Also our boy.
All right, wait, I got a quick, we got to do it in like a minute.
All right.
Yeah.
Recording process. How do you do it? Individual parts? Does the band
Yeah.
play live?
Right now, individual parts. We
Yeah.
definitely
So
will
will
get
like
into live
someone run
recording.
keys today, and then tomorrow you'll put the guitar down on it, or
Right.
Stuff like that. Yeah, we
Okay.
build the tracks.
Various microphone setups and equipment setups
Cool.
and stuff. Yeah.
And we do pretty extensive demoing on our own before we go into an actual studio to
Right.
record.
So
Yeah.
when you did this live session though,
This
was
is
the
live.
band was live, hot mics all
yeah,
around?
everybody
Yes.
was recording at the
Everybody.
same
It
time.
sounded great still. Like,
Thank you.
I feel like a live album from you guys would be really cool.
That's definitely something.
Yeah.
I'm
It's something in the
interested
future.
so,
Yeah, absolutely.
I
Yeah.
want a little credit on that. No, I'm just kidding. You said
I'd be
we were just
interested.
talking about
We'll
how
thank
you
you
don't
for
want
it.
people taking cuts from the.
Sorry, I don't mean
That's
that.
fine.
I don't mean that. I just, we'll totally
Oh,
shout
okay.
you out.
I'm just.
This live album was Zack Skarzynski.
Yeah.
Zack Skarzynski's influence completely. You know?
Yeah.
Anyways, though, like, we're wrapping it up, so, like, thank you so much for coming down. We're all about it, and when Blue comes out, I'm gonna get it in the studio. And
Awesome.
Definitely just tell people, you know.
Yeah,
talk to friends
June
and,
15th, it's gonna be out.
June 15th.
Yeah, we're gonna pop a single out at the end of May. We got that show in Manchester at the main pub on May 11th. Definitely
Nikita
come and
the
party.
band, Google that. You'll
yeah.
get in the right direction.
Instagram, Facebook.
Spotify might be a little hard. But
Nikita
we'll
Pink
there.
on Spotify.
Nikita Pink on Spotify and Apple Music. We're
Yeah.
on all streaming
Yeah.
services and stuff.
You guys have a YouTube.
We do. We
None
do.
of them
Videos
use
on
that.
there.
We gotta
Yeah,
put-
the video for that's on YouTube.
Yeah.
There's a few things on YouTube.
We should upload a bunch of new ones on there.
Yeah.
Cool.
And yeah, I mean, we just, I guess, sign off. I want to say thank you to everybody who's listening so far. Thank you to everybody who will listen. Keep an eye out for a single from us in late May, Nikita Blue in June. And yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, because it's been an awesome first year for us. And
You
yeah.
know, I didn't even ask you about that, but it's crazy. You guys are like, I hear about you guys a lot, like from a lot of people, and you've only been doing it for a year as Nikita overall.
Yeah.
At the end of July,
End
it'll
of July
be a year.
will be a year with
Wow.
the full lineup.
So you guys are like a greenhorn, and you're like blowing up already. That's pretty cool.
It's exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Look out for these guys. I think they're gonna make some waves around here, and probably more. So thank you
Yeah.
so much for coming down, guys.
Thanks
Thank
for
you for having
Zach.
us.
Take care. Stay. What is our? We have a slogan. It's something different. WECS 90.1. Thanks for
Ooh.
tuning in.
Woo!
I thought it was stay weird.
Stay weird.